Welcome to session 4 of Power Electronics and Instrumentation subject, that is 18 EC36, and we were discussing with the first module. And in the previous session, that is session 3, we discussed about the SER characteristics and how to turn on and turn off this. And it's a continuation of that session, that is session 4. In this, we will discuss about the gate, particularly the gate characteristics of the SER, turn on and the turn off mechanisms. Coming to the gate characteristics, this graph gives the information about the gate characteristics of a thyristors. It's a plot of voltage current versus the gate current, where Ig is the gate current and Vg is the gate voltage, and this represents the maximum and the minimum voltage. This is the minimum voltage, gate voltage, that is Vg minimum, and this this dotted line indicates the maximum gate voltage. And we are plotting a DC load line on this, the voltage as well as this current. From the current voltage we have drawn the load line, and if you draw this, you'll get S1 and S2. It's the coincidence of S1 and S2. Now let us discuss what does this S1 and S2 indicates, and what is this Ig minimum and Ig maximum and the Q point. And this Vg is the voltage current and Ig is the gate to cathode current. Ig, that gate current, is denoted from the gate to cathode current. And if you think about that curve 1 and 2, that is S1 and S2, where 1 is the lowest voltage value to turn on the SER. This S1 indicates this is the lowest voltage to turn on. This 1 indicates the lowest voltage which is required to turn on, and similarly the 2 indicates the maximum voltage which is required to turn on the SER. This is the highest possible voltage which is applied safely to the gate current. And coming to this Vg max, Ig max, and this where Vg is the maximum gate voltage and Ig is the maximum gate current, that is the gate to cathode current. And here the Pg max is the when Vg and Ig is exceeds, it causes the permanent damage to junction 3. So there is also a minimum limit for Vg and Ig to turn on this SER. And here we need to discuss about the three important regions, where the first region, second region and the third region. In the first region, where OA lies in the origin, and it is defined by the gate voltage to be maintained or applied that will not trigger any device and only forward bias the device. And the second region is the minimum value of the gate voltage and the current required to trigger the SER. And the third region is the largest limits of the gate signals which is required for reliable turn on. This fast turn on to implies the hard firing. So here the higher the magnitude of the gate current pulse, it lesser is the time needed to inject the required charge of turning on thyristors. And this gives some information about one problem of connected a thyristor, and the load is connected with a 60 ohm of resistance and a 2 Henry of inductance, and this is the input voltage which is applied with the 220. And here the problem explanation. Thyristor is gated with a pulse of 40 microsecond. The latching current of the thyristor is 36 milliamps and the load is 60 ohms and 2 Henry. Will the thyristor on? If not, how it can be overcome for the given load? In order to find this value, first we have to find out the current, that is in terms of milli, then we can calculate the time interval. And this gives the information about the triggering. It's the turn on methods of a thyristor. In that first one is a forward voltage triggering, and this is once again the method of a turn on method of a thyristor. And coming to the triggering, what is triggering? Triggering is the process, turn on process of the SER is referred as a triggering. To turn on the SER, it's a process called triggering. And in other words, we can say Turning the SCR from forward blocking state to forward conduction state is known as triggering. And there are different types of triggering. In that, forward voltage triggering. In this forward voltage triggering is a mode. In this mode, the additional forward voltage is applied between the anode and the cathode. Some additional is applied between the anode and the cathode. And here, once again, if the terminal is positive with respect to the cathode, VAK, J1 and J3 will enter into forward bias and junction J2 will be the reverse bias. The same what we discussed in the previous slides, in the previous sessions, the same explanation. And as a result of it, there is no current flows due to the depletion region of J2 is reverse bias except the leakage current, the small current due to the drift charges due to the junction J2. When VAK is further increased at the voltage VBO, it's a breakover voltage, that is a forward breakover voltage. The J2 undergoes some avalanche breakdown, so the current flows and the device tends to turn on even when the gate is open. The next kind of triggering is a temperature or a thermal triggering. The width of the depletion layer of SCR decreases with increase in the junction temperature. It's called as a thermal triggering. Therefore, SCR when VA is very near its breakdown voltage, the device is triggered by increasing the junction temperature. By increasing this junction temperature, the reverse bias junction collapses, thus the device starts to conduct. And the next one gives the information about the radiation or the light triggering. This diagram gives the information about the triggering by the radiation or the light, called as radiation or a light triggering. In this light triggering of SCR is a special terminal which is made up inside the inner P layer instead of a gate terminal. This indicates where we are applying the light. When light is allowed to strike this terminal, free charge carriers are generated, and when the intensity of light becomes more than a normal value, the thyristor starts conducting. One of the method to turn on this thyristor. This type of SCR is called as a LASCR. It's a light triggering thyristor. Now it has been used in high voltage DC transmission system. And this picture provides the information about the triggering the thyristor with the light or a radiation. The next kind of triggering is a dV by dt triggering. Under this condition, the forward bias, the junction J1 and J3 will be under forward bias and J2 will be in the reverse bias. And J2 behaves as a capacitor due to charges existing across the junction. Due to this will act as a capacitor. This layer you can observe at the diagram. This J2 across J2 behaves as a capacitor. If the voltage across the device is V, the charge by Q, the capacitance by C, then its IC is equal to dQ divided by dt, and where Q is equal to CV, so this Q has been replaced with the CV, then at the final simplification, finally you'll get IC is equal to C into dV by dt. Therefore, the rate of charge of voltage across the device becomes large, the device may turn on. Due to this, charge of voltage across the device is large, then automatically the device may turn on even if the voltage across the device is small. And the next kind of triggering is a gate triggering. This is the most widely used kind of triggering at the SCR triggering method, commonly used, mostly widely used gate triggering. Here we are going to apply some positive voltage between the gate and the cathode to turn on a forward biased thyristor. Here the positive voltage applied at the gate terminal, the charge carriers are injected in the inner P layer, thereby reducing the depletion layer thickness. This will going to reduce the thickness of the depletion layer due to this positive voltage at the gate terminal. So this applied voltage increases, the carrier junction injection increases, therefore the voltage at the forward breakover decreases. And this is what we discussed. There are different ways to turn on the thyristor. The first way is the anode current is above the latching current. This is already we discussed, that is IAK is greater than the load current IL. This is the voltage between current between the anode and the cathode, that is IAK. And one more is the gate drive. By applying a positive voltage between the cathode and the gate terminal voltage. The voltage from gate to cathode is more. This injected the gate carriers increase the anode current and regenerative action starts. And the one more is a high forward voltage, that is, in order to turn on the thyristor, the voltage between the anode and the cathode should be greater than the forward breakover voltage, that is VBO. At this condition, it causes a leakage current is high, so internal regeneration starts in the device. And the one more, just now we discussed, that is by dV by dt, where thyristor acts like a capacitor at junction J2 in the forward bias state, where the voltage changes rapidly and the leakage current through the device increases due to the internal capacitance. This internal capacitance will going to increase the leakage current. Then it leads to turn on the thyristor. And the one more is the light. Thyristor can be turned on by light, and when light falls on the gate cathode junction, the thyristor induces the electronic hole pair and helps to increase the leakage current. And the next one is by providing a high temperature. Thyristors can be turned on by increasing the temperature. At high temperature, there will be more electron hole pair across the junction. This inverts the leakage current and the thyristor will enter into on condition. These are the different techniques of along with the gate characteristics of the SCR. In this session, we discussed about how to turn on the thyristor, different techniques of turning on the thyristor. Thank you.